Hi, welcome back to the Quality Cup Life podcast. My name is Imani, and here we talk about how to live a better quality of life for young adults, how to make your own decisions, and how to create the life that you want to live instead of letting other people tell you how to live. So, thank you so much for listening, and let's get into the show. Hi guys, welcome back to the Quality Cup Life podcast. My name is Imani, and here we talk about how to pour into your own cup for young adults. Y'all, I am back like boomerang. I couldn't think of nothing else that comes back. And I got on a whole little fit. I got my cool little hat with the "Try Jesus, Not Me" shirt on. Shout out Toby. So we're back. And y'all, some news, some stuff done happened. One thing is Nick Cannon is on his 20th baby or whatever it is, and apparently the 20th one just came out, and the 22nd and 23rd in the womb, they about to be coming out. So we gonna keep him in prayer, y'all. we gonna keep my man in prayer. But anyway, y'all, so there's been a lot going on, which is the reason why there's been like a little bit of a chunk of time as to why I have not been making podcasts. Number one is stress. So what's been happening with me? So, shot my first commercial. I One a film that I created, a short film that I created, was nominated to be, or I guess was chosen to be screened at like a local film festival, so that was cool. I started a new job. What else happened? I went on like 2 trips lately, but a lot of this stuff happened in August, but the stress was all the way in between August and was before August, July, and whenever it was the last time I made it. But this is episode 28. Was good. So yeah, and in this podcast episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about so I don't know if y'all ever watched Denzel Washington's movie. It's called Flight. It was on Netflix, and I was like, Denzel makes the good movies, so let me see what's good with this. I don't know if I heard a lot about Flight, but I was like, okay, let me see what's about or whatever. So I watched it, y'all, and just my general thoughts on it was like, it was crazier than I expected it to be. I was not expecting it to be as dynamic, I guess, showing like real life stuff that people be going through. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. I was just expecting it to be like, oh, okay, my man was a pilot, the plane went down, blah blah blah. Also, if you couldn't tell, it's finna be some spoilers in this. And in the trailer, it shows that he was drinking, around that time. But he miraculously saved most of the people on board. I think maybe like 3 people died or whatever. Which is pretty miraculous if your plane crashes and like almost everybody survives. That's pretty crazy. But my man was making so many bad decisions consecutively in this movie. I was just like, I know he's not. Like, I know not. With all the decisions this man was making. But it's real. But as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is real life though. How we be making consecutively make bad decisions is crazy. And at any point, as I was watching, I was like, bro, at any point he could have turned this around and made things better for himself, but instead he kept making things worse. And it just didn't click with him. And my man, it was crazy. He could have just got off with a clean conscience and he would have been known as a hero, but instead he'd have messed himself up. So I broke down some points. The first point I made, or I wrote, but I kind of already said it, was at any point he could have started making better decisions. And instead, my man, everything he touched was sabotage. I was just like, everything he touched was just him breaking stuff. I was just like, bruh, just stop. Like, stop. But he just, it just kept going, spiraling downhill. And I was just thinking, as I was like, just watching it and then thinking about it and making notes about this, I was like, I think the reason why he kept doing all those things and kind of like he was like basically throwing his life away is because he didn't really believe he had anything to live for at this point, and no one to live for, and he didn't really have anybody who truly like really loved him unconditionally and loved him for him, because his wife left him with the son, his dad died, the girl that one of his, I guess you could call her his girlfriend, she died, like, and then the girl that he met in the movie, he was, kicking it with her, she left, because he was being a butthole, and he was just all over the place. So I think the reason why he did that is because he just didn't have anything to live for. He like, that's what I think. I think why he's making those kind of decisions. And I think in some capacity we all do that too, but I'm gonna get more into that later. The second point that I wrote was that no matter how far something has gotten or how deep in the pit of like hopelessness some things may seem, we can always make a choice to do something that may even seem so small, but it'll make a difference. Like, especially if you just continue to just do one small thing after another. Bro, I promise you it'll make a difference. I promise you. Like, for example, if y'all ever seen Hoarders, the show? That show is crazy, yo. If a person who was a hoarder just little by little picked up one thing and put it in the trash. That's the thing that they don't do. They don't take one thing at a time and put it in the trash or put it back in its place. They like just leave it there, and that stuff over time piles up. Whereas if they just would have taken it one thing at a time, it wouldn't have gotten that far, and it would have been in a much better place. That's just one of the tangible examples I can think of. And then the next point that I have is that sometimes we underestimate the power of our own decisions, and how our lives look right now is literally the sum total of all the decisions you've made, bruh, second by second, hour by hour, day by day. Whatever it look around you, whatever it looks like, is because you decided to be there. Whether you consciously made that decision, was like, I want to do this, I want to be here, and then you ended up there, or you didn't even think like that, but you ended up there, is because of the decisions that you made, nothing else. Now, generally speaking, yeah. I mean, every now and then there's some circumstances that you had like zero control of, but like 90% of the time, bro, it's because something that you did. It's because of the decisions you made. And y'all, it's so easy to be like, yo, the reason why I'm here is such and such did this person said that, I didn't get a fair start at life, my mom wasn't there, my dad wasn't there, my parents died when I was young, blah, blah, blah. Man, I that's real life, and that really does suck. But it's like at a certain point you gotta start to realize, oh, the way my life is set up, it's on me now. No, I might not have had the best start because I didn't either, but at some point you gotta be like, it's on me now. It's either I'm gonna take it in the direction that I want it to go in, or I'm just gonna just slide, like let life run over me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, yo. That's just what it is. The next point that I have is you can tell, if you watch the movie now, you can tell that the reason he kept spiraling into his addiction and making decisions that were basically screwing him over, was because all the weight and pressure on him from the accident and him not having any real relationships left. It was, you could tell, like, it was so heavy on him. He didn't really feel like it was worth turning around, like making better decisions, like, which is kind of related to what I said earlier. Like, he didn't really have anything to live for. Who was he? What was he getting better for? Who was he living for? Nobody wanted him. I'm sure that's how he felt. Like, that pressure got to be heavy, bruh. It's got to be heavy. When you feel like it's so much weight on you, it feels like nothing matters. Like, this little small thing that I can do doesn't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm sure some people will be like, man, I already got my teeth already rotten. I already have 10 cavities. Like, what I need to what's the point of me brushing my teeth now? Like, that's an extreme example, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of me doing it now? It's already gone this far. It's already gotten this bad. Like, or if you in college or whenever you were in school, grade school or whatever, you might have been like, dang, like, it's the third quarter, it's the third semester. I already got D's and F's. Like, it's already this far. What's the point of me even studying or trying to do better? It won't make a difference. Well, really, it will. It could make a difference. It really could. If you got on it and you did everything you could, and then you went to your teachers and your professors and was like, hey, yo, I need help. I want to turn this around. It can make a difference. It may not get you, exactly what you want, but it'll definitely make a difference. Whether that's a difference in your circumstances or a difference in your character and in your habits, it'll make a difference. It'll definitely make a difference. All right, the next thing that I have is, in addition to that, he couldn't even admit that he had a substance abuse problem. He couldn't even admit it to anybody. He was like, I don't have a problem. I don't have a drinking problem. My man was in the movie, one of the lady, he met this lady and he was kicking it with her or whatever. She was staying with him. And she was like, I'm going to get help. I'm going to go to an AA meeting. So she started to regularly go to these meetings. And she was like, hey, I think you should come with me. It's really great. It's been helping me. And he came, but my man was sitting up. He was sitting like this the whole time, arms folded, like the whole time. And he was like, you know how sometimes you're just not ready, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not gonna click until you get to a certain point, where you can admit like, hey, dang, I'm wrong. Well, really, I think, my relationship went left, or we got in an argument. I got in a fight with my mama, my sister, my boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, coworker, and you want to be like, this person didn't do this, and this. It's just like, okay, well, you don't want to look at yourself and be like, well, what could I have done better? What did I not do? So, he didn't want to look at himself. Okay. Okay, the next one is the irony of it all. So the next point is, what makes it even more ironic was that this fool was running around trying to do damage control, and trying to his darndest to convince people to either lie or to persuade them. He tried to talk them and persuade them into him like being totally fine that day. Everything was a normal day, and then the plane just did its thing, and then that was it. It had nothing to do with me. And that's crazy. Like, I was just thinking, bro, don't we all do that? We be so delusional, and we be so delusional in our stuff that we be trying to convince other people that it's not me that's the problem. It was the plane that blew up. The manufacturer didn't do whatever right. I didn't do nothing wrong. Even though in the movie the plane literally did start falling apart. But bruh, but you were drunk though. Like, if you would have not been drinking that morning or high, bruh was high on cocaine, bro. He was high. Sir, Even if the plane was falling apart, he would have been scot-free, guilt-free. Well, maybe not all the way guilt-free, because some of his passengers, 3 of the passengers did die. But bro would have had a clear conscience. He would have had a whole clear conscience if he wouldn't have been high and drunk that morning. But bro was high and drunk. But you trying to convince everybody that it was a normal day. You're the perfect pilot and nothing was wrong. Bro, delusional. Bro, I know people that do that to this day, bro. And myself too. I do the same thing. We all do the same thing at some point. Be delusional about some stuff. But it ain't crazy. And be trying to explain away why we ain't do nothing wrong. Crazy, yo. Okay. And then the next point. Oh, wait. Nope, not the next point. I had more that we low-key be. Sometimes we be blaming God for stuff too. Sometimes we be like, Lord, why you let me go through this? And he'd be like, you decided to be here. I didn't put this on you. I allowed it. But you made the decisions that got you here, though. Because he didn't hit me up with that, and I'm like, Lord, like, what you mean? What you mean? I got myself here. What you mean? You know? And we for real be avoiding the responsibility like the plague. Like, we don't want to be like, oh, it's us, or look in the mirror and face the real us, the real ugly part of us that needs to be healed, that needs to be changed, that needs to be confronted. We don't want to do that. And we don't want to carry our baggage. We don't want to ask for help. We don't want other people, I'm going to let y'all know, we don't want other people to know we don't have it all together. And it's just like, bro, like, why are these people's opinions in your mind so high and lofty? Like, it's not about them. It's about you getting the help that you need. If you know you don't have it together, ask for help. It don't matter. Now, be wise about who you ask for help, because, you know, some people are petty, and they aren't trustworthy with certain information. But if you know that if there's people that are not out to get you and not trying to hurt you, like, and you need help, ask for help, yo. That's it. That's crazy, ain't it? But anyway, so the next thing that I have is it's simple. We just gotta do something different. My man in the movie, he just had to start doing something different, yo. He had to start doing something different. And thankfully, I'm telling the whole movie. Well, not the whole movie, but I'm telling the whole movie. Thankfully, at the end, he finally faced himself and he started to do something different. Thank God. But yeah, I was so proud of him at the end. Like, he really needed to do that for him, because he had the opportunity to possibly get off scotch-free, but he did not. He chose to be honest and start to face his own challenges and things like that. And I think we could all do the same, honestly. So I have one question for you. So what small thing are you going to start doing that might not seem like it'll make a difference at first, but if you do it about 20 times or so, you gonna look up and be like, oh shoot, it's adding up. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's saving a certain amount, saving $10 every paycheck seems very small, but after you do that thing 20 times, that's $200. Or whether that's, if your stuff is unorganized, putting one thing back at a time. If you're looking for a new job, okay, one application, okay, and then it's so easy to do an application these days. Like, you could submit an application in like less than 5 minutes. I've done that. It could be cleaning out your car. I cleaned out my car recently. The first thing I did was just take it to an automatic car wash. I ain't had to do a thing. I just paid my money and drove through that mug. So just let me know. I want to know. Y'all can put it in, if y'all on YouTube, put it in the comments. I want to know. Email me at qualitycuplife@gmail.com. If y'all on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, whatever, y'all can email it to me. And also, go ahead and share the podcast, because y'all thought this episode was bomb and y'all think the podcast is the bomb. Go ahead and share it. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.